Welcome to the Business Unfiltered series. I'm Rick Plaskett, a certified business and leadership coach. And today my guest is Gabby Blocher. She is the CEO of Sunflower Fuels. It is a startup company. It's also a commercial profitable company focused in the area of sustainable agricultural crops. Today, we're going to talk to Gabby about her business, some of the challenges she has, the best practices, and get a peek into what it's really like to grow a startup company. If this is your first time on the channel, please be sure to like and subscribe so you can help us out and get back to the channel when we have new interviews to drop. Gabby, welcome and thank you for being here today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, super. Hey, listen, you've got a wonderful backdrop there of your product. Why don't you give our audience an overview of how you got to be where you are today and maybe even touch on some of our commonalities in the way of a service academy grad and jumping out of a perfectly good airplane. And then give us a little bit about what the business is all about. I think it's pretty exciting.
Thanks so much. I appreciate it, Rick. So yeah, Sunflower Fuels is a development company. I'll get to that in a minute. I can describe my background first. So yes, I am a graduate of the Naval Academy from 1998, which is I think I've transitioned into the older grads in my local community from the younger grads. I stayed in the younger grads category for a lot longer than I would have anticipated. But yeah, sort of on the back end there. We graduated in 98, served in the Marine Corps for 5 years as a logistics officer after I graduated, which was super, super interesting and fun and cool and challenging. And I'm very proud of it and was challenged by it for sure back in the day. After I got out of the military, I went to business school at Columbia. And then have had a career in and around startups and also doing consulting since then. So I've been a founding member of a couple of startups, including the first ever startup experience I had was with one of my classmates from Navy who named Jake Harriman, who founded this a very cool international development nonprofit called Nuru International, working with agrarian communities that were living in extreme poverty to help them get the tools to lift themselves out of extreme poverty. Super cool stuff, really relevant to this work that we're doing here at Sunflower Fuels as well. Bunch of other things in and around, like I said, startups. And yeah, so Sunflower Fuels, we've got a founding board of some amazing folks with huge sustainable energy background and experience, as well as land use experience. Really, really amazing guys. I recommend everybody look up look up our company and learn a little bit about our board. But they brought me on board a few years ago when they needed some help putting together kind of a business plan and some operational work. They had an idea, but they needed to get a little bit closer to the execution phase of things. And so we've been in the execution phase of things, I would say, for a couple of years. And a little bit about the company. We're a development company focused on establishing miscanthus on available unused land throughout the region where we're located, which is Kentucky, and then we will plan to expand into surrounding contiguous states like Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, and West Virginia. And yeah, we're just all about this one particular lignocellulosic perennial feedstock called miscanthus, which is a grass, and putting it on available unused land and then selling it into all of the markets that it works for, including animal bedding, renewable food packaging, building materials, and then ultimately it can be used to produce as feedstock to produce sustainable aviation fuel and energy. I want to make one quick clarification. We are a for-profit company. We're a startup. We are pre-profit. We're post-revenue. So we started generating revenue, which we're really proud and excited about. And we are growing. So we're raising capital to get to the next phase of things and really get to cash flow positivity and also ultimately profitability in a couple of years. So yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about the role that you currently play in the business? I know that you've got to wear an awful lot of hats as the CEO and with like you said, revenue generating but not yet profitable company. And, give me an idea of all of the different hats that you play.
Yeah, so again, I'm the CEO of the company. We're pretty small team right now. I have an analyst who is a total rock star, but she's only with us a very short amount of time. So she's with us about a quarter time, which is amazing. And she brings a lot to the table. But I mean, pretty much the answer to that question is everything, but it's not, it's great. It's all like we're building the company at this time. So yeah, I do all of the things, but I have my analysts to help out from here and there, and then our board is heavily involved and super engaged. So always have them engaged as well to run things by and brainstorm and make big strategic decisions. We all work very closely together. I have other team members too, like an accountant who also happens to be a board member. They're really
Okay.
helpful with running numbers and all that sort of stuff. But yeah, when it comes to day-to-day operations and everything that the company is doing, yeah, I wear all the hats.
Let's dig down a little bit further. Of all of those hats and all of the different responsibilities that you have, what's a breakdown percentage-wise of the amount of time that you're actually doing operational versus strategic, future planning, growth versus the harvesting the crops?
Yeah, right now I would say it's there's not we harvest once a year.
Just once. Okay.
That's like the max. So we haven't harvested at all. We have one planting of 15 acres, and we have not harvested that 15 acres yet. We will harvest in the fall of this year. So there is operational work to do that is around other things. So I'm like focused on selling we sell Revive bedding. So I do work around that. I maintain the inventory of Revive bedding that we have, do inventory planning,
Mhm.
find new customers. And then there are other operational things like uh so I don't know if we would call I'm focused on fundraising right now. I don't know if we would call fundraising, probably that would be more like strategic. So because that's
That's
a
strategic future
yeah,
building,
so,
obviously. Yes.
so a focus of that would as because that's a major focus of effort for me right now. I would say it's pretty much 50-50 operational and strategic right now.
Okay. Super, super. So you had already mentioned that you're looking at you're right now you're in a phase where you're commercial revenue generating and you're looking to be profitable within the next 3 to 5 years. Curious, and this I have to ask, and I'm kind of smiling already because I think I know the answer coming from another service academy. It's interests me as I interview different business owners, their mindset on the concept of goal setting. Right? There's a number of them that goals are simply something to do, put it on the to-do list and get it done. And there are others that the approach is if it's a goal and I know how to do it, that's not a goal. The goal has to require me to grow and learn something new or put into place a new technology or something. What would be your approach to goal setting?
Yeah, I mean, we are a very future focused company. Like there is everything that we are we're so nascent. So what's on the horizon is it. That's the whole company. So
Mhm.
we have sales growth targets that are just yeah, maybe it's because of my background, but maybe it's also because it's a startup. Like I don't, it's that's a question that I'm having a hard time answering because I don't know what we even would be without goals.
I, the definition of what I'm looking for is your mindset on goals. There are some people I know when I graduated from West Point, when I left the military, I was working with my coach running my own company, and my mindset was there's no substitute for victory. So when they asked me to set a goal, I knew I could do two. Two is what my goal was. Okay. And it took months of my coach working with me and changing my mindset around to say, no, your goal is 6. If I hit 4, that's not a failure. It's still two better than 2 was. So she helped me to readjust my vision of goal, the word goal, to be something that I can comfortably accept. I need to grow. The company needs to grow. I need to stretch. And in setting that goal, there may be a piece that I simply do not know right now, but I have to find it out in order to hit that goal.
Hmm.
That would be the one end. And then the other end is exactly like I said. I know what it is. I'm simply going to put it on the to-do list and I'm going to push harder, try harder, work harder, focus more to get that goal done. So I'm just curious as to where you fall in that spectrum.
Yeah, I mean, we have huge goals. We have huge goals. There are 550,000 of acres of available unused land that can be put to use with miscanthus production. I guess I would say there's a little bit around like again, we have huge, massive goals that we believe are attainable because this is a new market opportunity that's just not being taken advantage of. There's a huge supply demand gap between what miscanthus can be used for and what's being done with it right now, especially here in our region. So just huge opportunity, huge goals. But I would say we Um, yeah, that's just my answer, I guess.
Okay. Okay. Well, let's go from you had mentioned 15 acres. I believe in our previous conversation, you said you had achieved or are in the process of planting 300 acres. And now you just said, thousands and thousands of acres. What is the biggest hurdle? What's the biggest objection you're hearing from the potential farmers, landowners, and whatnot from adopting your vision of what sunflower fuels can be in the future?
Yeah, so we it goes back to the last answer that I just gave. We have it's a new opportunity.
Hmm.
And uh so um so we are right now, so it's the work of continuing to establish and take advantage of the market opportunity as it grows. So
Hmm.
landowners, when the time comes for us to engage them and establish leases with them, we will come to the table with them with offtake agreements with end users that need a reliable and long-term source of feedstock, source of lignocellulosic feedstock. So I guess maybe one way to answer your question is we're not talking to landowners right now about leasing their land about with this crop. We are looking for available unused land and planning to buy it ourselves and then establish the crop there, with the market opportunity and take advantage of the market opportunity that we have begun to take advantage of in our region. So we're not getting pushback right now.
Got it. Got it. Got it. So what you're looking for is the supply side, and then right now you're 100% marketing to the the demand side of who is going to be using the agricultural product
Yeah,
when
we're
you
selling
harvest.
it. Yeah,
Got
selling.
it.
Yeah. Hmm.
Okay. In that entire market, are you at the level of development where you're tracking all of that activity through a CRM system of
Hmm.
some sort?
Yeah, we
Okay.
use HubSpot.
Super, super, super. HubSpot. Okay. Super. Listen, we have focused a lot on the product and a lot on your vision and philosophy so far. What I'd like to do is build a little bit into timing of team. You're sounding like a party of one plus a number of assistants on a part-time basis. Is that a fair assessment of your team right now, or did I miss something?
I mean, I wouldn't call her an assistant. She's an analyst.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean that. She's
Yeah.
solid rocket boosters to your efforts. She
Yeah.
just amplifies whatever you're doing. I guess what I'm looking for is in the next few years, have you identified where is the key milestone in which you've got to add team? And do you have a process for that when it happens?
Yeah, we do. That's so included in our like projections and business model includes building out our staff a little bit and our building out our team. We'll look to fill a position of chief ag officer, a head of operations, move her. Hopefully we can retain her. She's, like I said, an analyst. We would like to move her into a full-time work with us or closer to full-time. And then we'll need an account manager. And then right now, as I said, we talked earlier, I'm wearing all the hats. So we could use some help in the form of sales. So we would like to engage a sales manager as well. So yeah, lots of plans for building out the team. And then there's also outside engagement too. So we will work with contractors to conduct the harvest this fall, and then potentially partners to process and bag the material. We're having conversations with a number of those. We'll need to use a big piece of heavy equipment to do this harvesting, and then the planting this fall. We'll work with our partner as well, this company called Agrotech, to plant. So we'll buy rhizomes from them and do the planting on the land that we purchase. And then yeah, lots of other engagement with outside partners and temporary labor to do the work that needs to be done once a year.
Now, I'm curious. Again, I have a background with John Deere many, many decades ago. The harvesting that you do, is that a standard cutter harvester, or do you have a very specialized piece of equipment that needs to be done to harvest it?
Forage chopper.
Forage chopper. So I can pull out my antique Ford 8N with the side sickle and go through the field with that. Not
Mhm.
as efficient as today's technology, but it's that simple. So you're not into something that's sophisticated in cutting and separating and shredding and collecting.
Right.
Okay, awesome. 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 Hey, listen, we have covered a lot of what the company is and a lot of what your philosophy is and where your focus is as a CEO today. And for those of you watching, I highly encourage you to save this, come back a couple of times because Gabby has given us some really great nuggets on how you think of and how you look at the business to take it from its startup infancy to a profitability. So before we wrap up today, I want to get into a section I like to call a quick rapid fire. This is just three, four questions, top of your mind, whatever comes first. You ready for these?
Sure.
Super. Gabby, what's your key to success?
Focus.
Okay. What's a piece of advice that you would give another business owner that is growing from the infancy just like you?
Um, make space for both things. Make space for the operational and the strategic.
Okay, super. This is going to date me and my generation. What is a book that you're reading right now or one that you've read recently that you would recommend to the audience?
Why does that date you?
Because I said the word book. Okay, I have
Oh.
so many business owners that are into TED Talks and podcasts and all sorts of
Oh,
other availabilities of learning, and a book is a boomer thing.
oh gosh. I hope not. I hope books are not a boomer thing. So yeah, I mean, I tend to read a lot of fiction. I really like fiction, and I actually find that fiction can be just as instructional and helpful to the mind of somebody who's leading a business,
Hmm.
much as some of the great business books are. So I'm going to say two things. There's a new Jim Collins book which he's the guy who wrote Good to Great, which again, as somebody who
Hmm.
doesn't read a lot of business books, I love that book. I really found it useful and helpful and just interesting and a great book. So his new book is, I think, how to something about life, how to, I'm going to look at it while I'm saying, I'll say the other book and I'll look up the name of this other book because one of my besties, my Naval Academy first year roommate, is the one who sent it to me, Melissa Palmashano. Shout out to Melissa. She's a rock star. So let's see here. The book that she recommended is What to Make of a Life by Jim Collins. So I'm
Ah,
on
okay.
my list. I take the recommendations she gives, so I'm going to read it. I bet it's not totally businessy, but I know it's also definitely nonfiction. So I'm recommending a book I have not yet read, but I have read the author. I think he's great. But I'm going to recommend a piece of fiction that I just read, which is called Gilead by Marilyn Robinson. Excellent, excellent work of fiction, well-written novel about this country that's experiencing its 250th anniversary this weekend. Just great book, great book. No, I don't
Super,
want to say too much about it. It's just a great book.
super, super. Gabby, if there was one area of the business right now that you could improve and tomorrow morning it would be exactly where you wanted it to be, what would that area be?
Easy peasy funding.
Funding.
Yeah, we're having, and that's, I think, I'll say too, like about our whole discussion, I think this is um, our company is a startup that is raising capital right now.
Hmm.
We need capital. We are really excited about what we've done. We're excited about what we've accomplished, but we're the tiniest of possible teams right now. And then we need more capital to do what we need to do in the future. So we just are raising funds. We're excited about the opportunity, but we need some of these potential funders with whom we've been speaking to decide that they want to fund the company. So anyway,
Yeah. Well, thank you. Thank you. Hey, before we get to the final question of the day, if there's somebody watching this video out in our audience and they want to get in touch with you, either to become your next best customer or because they like your ideas so much that they want to become your next greatest funder, what's the best way for them to get in touch with you, Gabby?
LinkedIn.
LinkedIn. Okay. Super. So, last question of the day. What do you find most inspiring?
Um, the communities where we are focused. So we're focused in Eastern Kentucky opportunity zones, and what the I find most inspiring the people of Perry County in particular, where we've done our first planting.
Okay, awesome. Gabby, thank you so much for joining us today and for sharing your journey, and greatest of luck to you as you move forward through your growth phase. And thank you to the audience for watching today. Everybody, make it a great day and bye for now.